Good day everyone, Black here. Today, I want to discuss a problem that has been plaguing everyone's gameplay, especially if they love dual wielding. If you aren't aware of the bug that I'm talking about the bug where swapping dual wield weapons can sometimes delete them from existence randomly. After hours of testing, I can assure you that this bug isn't random, and quite repeatable if you ask me. So, if you're a player passing by, or the Landfall devs looking at this video, here are the interactions that I discovered while messing around with the dual wield interactions. So, first things first, terminology. I know, it's boring, but as an engineer, we need to be very clear on the terms that we use, and I can't believe I'm using those skills to discuss a bug in what amounts to be a parody on a specific genre of video game, but I digress. Two-handed weapons are referred to as 2H, one-handed weapons are referred to as 1H, 1H weapons that are dual-wielded are referred to as dualies. Left weapon of dualies is the on-hand 1H, right weapon of the dualies is the offhand 1H. Slots 1, 2, and 3 are referred to as the primary, secondary, and tertiary slot. Now, with the terminologies out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about what does work. Swapping from tertiary to either on-hand or offhand 1H on either primary or secondary weapon will work. Emphasis on the from part. Swapping any offhand 1H and tertiary to and from each other will also work. Swapping offhand to on-hand 1H on either slot will also work as well. Lastly, swapping any nearby 1H or 2H to any slot will also work just as fine. However, let's go talk about what sort of kind of works. Specifically, the 2H to 1H interaction. So, swapping with Dualistic Inventory, if we were to swap the 2H to an on-hand or off-hand, we'll drop the opposite 1H, but we'll swap with the 1H we hovered over. So if I were to hover over the revolver, it'll drop the taser, but it'll swap with the revolver with the P90. Same thing if I were to hover the P90 over the taser, it will drop the revolver, but swap with the taser, and which is now going to be on the on-hand. The other interaction is if we were to swap the off-hand dually with the 2H, it will drop the on-hand, like the taser here. So again, I swap the taser with P90, it drops the revolver, but swaps with the taser. Swapping the 2H with on-hand, but with empty offhand, will also work properly. Like so. However, swapping with 2H to empty offhand will drop the 1H instead of swapping. Now, with the things that sort of work out of the way, let's go talk about the stuff that doesn't work. First things first is swapping from on-hand to on-hand. As you can see here, it gets deleted. We don't have another Arnold anymore, and there's nothing nearby. Swapping from on-hand to tertiary also deletes the tertiary. Swapping from on-hand on either primary or secondary to 2H. This will delete the 2H, but will leave the offhand 1H in its respective slot. 1H to 1H in either primary or secondary slot. As you can see here, I'll replace the sawed-off with another sawed-off, and the other sawed-off gets deleted from existence. Picking up 2H while having dualies out will delete the offhand and drop the on-hand. And lastly, and the most annoying part, is just clicking the on-hand while dualied. Why? And as far as I can tell from a couple hours of testing, these are about the interactions that I found that cause the swapping to work, sort of work, and not work as intended. There's a possibility that I didn't cover all the interactions, but it's about as much as I'm willing to explain without putting even more hours into getting all the interactions. So hopefully you guys learned something, and hopefully you'll avoid this problem as you play. But for the time being, I hope that Landfall will get this video and be able to figure out a problem with this whole swapping issue. And one last note, since I have your attention, Landfall, can we just have, you know, the expectation, I want this 1911 to be on the left side so I can shoot with the left click, but as you can tell, it's not the 1911, it's the G18. So if we could get that sorted out, I'd greatly appreciate it. Thanks.